Ребята, всем привет. Сегодня я буду реагировать на первый, который будет реагировать на Pokemon Реакция. Поехали. The different versions of the different video. The different versions of the different video. The different versions of the different video. Hello! Thanks for joining me. This is Bugman CX, and welcome to a new survival Let's Play series, which I've called The Journey. С Minecraft приключения серия 1. Move on from the last. With the release of Minecraft 1.14, I thought it might be fun to go right back to the very beginnings of Minecraft and play the game through in survival. The release date. Several times, which means I may not always be able to keep the world when I'm moving from one version to another. With the release of Minecraft 1.14, I thought it might be fun to go right back to the very beginnings of Minecraft and play the game through in survival. Pre-classic ages as well. Pre-classic, classic, in-dev, and inf-dev. Series. Classic, in-dev, and inf-dev. The prototype known as, but I'll be aiming to try to do that wherever possible. The prototype known as Cave Game. Survival world, but I'll be aiming to try to do that wherever possible. A lot of this will also be brand new for me, so buckle up. Let's get started. Classic, in-dev, and inf-dev. The earliest version of the game that you can get, and this is before the game was Cave Game. Even called Minecraft. This game at this stage was called Cave Game, and in fact the build number RD132211 was actually the RD fashion. There are. Game sounds resources, even called Minecraft. This game at this stage was called Cave Game, and in fact the build number RD132211 was actually the RD architecture, even called Minecraft. This game at this stage was called Cave Game, and in fact the build number RD132211 was actually the RD blocks above you or fashion. It's gonna really weird, but don't worry, we will do our best to work on that, and what we're gonna do here is build ourselves a house. It's gonna really weird, eerie patch of light. is doing is. But don't worry, we will do our best to work on that. And what we're going to do here is build ourselves a house. Down here, kind of a bit of a dungeon, a bit eerie patch of light. No matter what, so if you delete the block, replace the block, it's always going to be grass. Effectively, I've just dug away at all of the cobblestone. I think we've mastered this version. Effectively, I've just dug away at all of the cobblestone. 32328. Effectively. There he is! There he is! There's no way to change it to cobblestone, so all the blocks above it and below it are just cobblestone. Yeah, so that's... Like this, like a derpy idiot. Like this, like a derpy... Grade, grade. There's no way to change it to cobblestone, so all the blocks above it and below it are just cobblestone. Yeah, so that's... Forward to the next version. Unfortunately, with the next version, we won't be able to keep our world. I am. Let's go. Effects now. Blocks. And also, well, we could, it's just that the terrain would stay the same, and the next version up introduces a new terrain engine. So let's take a look at that. And here is the new terrain engine. The blocks. And also, I can choose the... Well, we could, it's just that the terrain would stay the same, and the next version up introduces a new terrain engine. So let's take a look at that. And here is the new terrain engine. Well, we could, it's just that the terrain would stay the same, and the next version up introduces a new terrain engine. So let's take a look at that. And here is the new terrain engine. By the next version, choose the... By the next version, it's just called... You're beautiful. Choose the... Let's have a look at a couple of things. It's just called Minecraft. Shape. It's just called Minecraft. It's got a bit of a table and some windows, and that's about all vision. It's just called Minecraft. I think it's time to get one. This is the planks, and out of the pre-classic era, and we're in the out of the pre-classic era, and we're in the classic era of Minecraft. It's effectively out of effectively. So a couple of changes since the last version. I'll put some. So a couple of changes since the last version. Delete. Classic era of Minecraft. I'm not getting it. So a couple of changes since the last version. Unless I'm just being an idiot. So a couple of changes since the last version. Place. Why can't I place a sapling on there? I don't know. So a couple of changes since the last version. That texture. Lose it. Oh, yes it has. It's definitely changed. The world is reset. The world is reset. Oh, I see. The world is reset. And what do I spy up here? Oh, hello, Steve. Oh, hello, Steve. This beautiful house that we made. Oh, hello, Steve. Didn't expect to see you down here. Didn't expect to see you down here. Down here. In version 0.0.13a_03. And what do I spy up here? I'm not seeing any, so I'm going to have a bit of a wander around and see if I can find some. Well, I've not been able to find any lava. Didn't expect to see you down here. Didn't expect to see you down here. No longer save my game at the moment. Didn't expect to see you down here. What it is. But if you remember from some of the earlier versions at the beginning of this episode, the world was just one big cube. And it's still a big cube, but in this version you're not able to jump off the edge. You were... It doesn't work when you run these... But if you remember from some of the earlier versions at the beginning of this episode, games back. And look at this world. We've got all of the things now. We've got the lakes, we've got the terrain generation, we've got oak trees with their very extremely bright leaves. Games back now. Some of those classic sounds we're going to hear throughout the series are going to start kicking in now. We've got bright green grass, and we've got a hotbar, which is the... Oh, it sounds! Of course, how could I... Introduced and then later changed. We've got bright green grass, and we've got a hotbar, which is the... Oh, it sounds! Of course, how could I... Introduced and then later changed. But what do we have on the hotbar? Well, same things we had before. We have the sapling, which is now a new texture. Before, last time we saw it was... Sometimes because there are some simple mechanics in Minecraft. Because there are some simple mechanics in Minecraft that are starting. Ready? Ready? Let's break that block. Fall. Let's break that block. The other thing is I can put. Block that are starting. Can do is I. flowers will eventually disappear. And that's interesting because it looks fabulous. I think I can place the pathway that leads all the way down here. I think I can place flowers. Pathway that leads all the way down here to the beach. When over here I was just means that they're taking a little while to detect. Whereas the gravity dots are instantaneous. The entire sea level up by up to the beach. But in the mean by one block. Interest is fiddling with the blocks. Inside so the fiddling with the blocks. By one block. But once again, it only but yeah, let's have a look at these anyway. We've got the red, orange, yellow out inventory. You know all these colours, but check out these colours. We've not really seen these before. In fact, I quite like them. They're a little bit pastel. Over here we've got more of a range of different purples. Through here we've got, we're making use of the cloth. You know all these colours, but check out these colours. We've not really seen these before. In fact, I quite like them. They're a little bit pastel. Over here we've got more of a range of different purples. But it's interesting to see these early blocks in their early development. You know all these colours. Same with the oak logs, the stone, pretty much everything. The glass, and how many of the textures stayed and how many remained. The oak planks, the planks here. So for now, we're going to skip this version and move on to the next. And how many of the textures stayed and how many remained. The oak planks, the planks here. Survival mode. I can break blocks and we get floating entities. Yeah. So this has been a bit of fun, but unfortunately we can't save our game. Or we can. If I save it here, it will save, and I will be able to. Suppose I can. I suppose it's the say hello, say hello, say hello. Survival, I mean that's what we came here for. I suppose it's the survival, I mean that's what we came here for. Get out of there. Ready. Bounce back on their vertical axis, but here they're returning. Get out of there. think you explode in an upcoming version, Mr. Cooper. And there's not really that much more we can do in this version, considering you're going to just get hounded by mobs left and right, and when they die, they fall backwards, so that's something we haven't seen before, at least. I like it. And then go on the hunt for some coal, left and right, and when they die, they fall backwards, so that's something we haven't seen before, at least. There's also some iron as well. Aha! Oh no! We need to find brown mushrooms. There's also some iron as well. Aha! Playing the game normally. Don't fall off of cliffs. There's some glowing dirt block entities. They actually look a lot smaller here than they actually are in the... We need to find brown mushrooms. What can we do in this more modern game? There's some iron ore as well. Let's check this out. What can we do in this? I'm not really sure. Let's have a look at B. Have really sure. More modern game. There's some iron ore as well. Let's check this out. Really sure. Let's have a look at B. We're getting close. More modern game. There's some iron ore as well. Let's check this out. Before we wrap up, really sure. Let's have a look at B. Before we wrap up for the day. To the player model and getting
Это закреплено на фанте.
pretty cool.
Это закреплено на фанте.
It's pretty cool. No bow yet. Good, definitely. No bow yet.
Это закреплено на фанте. Это закреплено на фанте.
Some resources, but we'd just be fighting mobs. Depends how much of no bow yet. Some resources, but we'd just be fighting mobs. No bow yet.
Oh, shine. Не-не. 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 Ладно, ребята, ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь на канал. Не-не. Ставьте лайки на колокольчик и всем пока. Не-не. Ты был в том еще дурак тупой.